There's a tense calm that prevails across Karnataka, but the hijab showdown is far from over. The petitioners who had moved the High Court have now moved the Supreme Court against the interim proposal by the Karnataka High Court that has clearly said that students cannot wear religious outfits to schools and colleges till the court actually passes an order in this particular case. So no hijabs, no headscarves, no saffron shawls allowed right now in schools and colleges in Karnataka. The Karnataka students' plea will be mentioned before the Supreme Court for urgent hearing. Schools are all set, meanwhile, to reopen in Karnataka from Monday after the Karnataka High Court's interim stay on allowing religious outfits in schools and colleges. Schools till class 10 will reopen in the first phase. Classes 11 and 12 will not reopen for now. The Karnataka Chief Minister is also going to be holding a meeting with ministers and education department officials. Remember, all of this happens after the Karnataka High Court yesterday proposed that institutions reopen but appealed to all students not to wear any religious dresses. The High Court has urged students to maintain peace and tranquility.
There is no interim relief for students in Karnataka demanding permission to wear hijab. The Karnataka High Court on Thursday asked the colleges to reopen. It has asked students to desist from wearing hijab or saffron shawls or any other religious symbol. The next hearing on the plea filed by Muslim students against hijab ban is on Monday. The petitioners have called the hijab ban a suspension of their religious beliefs.
I don't think so. If a saffron shawl is a right to them, they can allow it. But they created this issue soon after we are wearing it. We are wearing it from before. Our ancestors, everybody used to wear this headscarf. Not only us, but everybody used to wear. I don't know where they brought a new rules. In India, for a girl to ask for a justice, she must have been trained or what? She should be trained for ask to justice. Some other people should be trained her to ask for justice. Why I can't raise my voice for a justice?
The Basavaraj Bommai government says schools and colleges will reopen in phases. It has urged students to maintain calm and cooperate.
All my school and college campuses are peaceful, and our students have behaved very well since last 2 days, very well, and I thank them for the restraint. I also appeal to everybody, students, teachers, parents, SDM members, management members, departmental officials to work together and see that there is a peace in the campuses.
Meanwhile, protests in support of women's choice to wear hijab are spreading across the country. In Tamil Nadu, the CPM student wing held a protest arguing that a woman's choice to wear any dress she wants is a fundamental right protected by the Constitution. Politics is adding fuel to the fire. The issue is resonating.
कुछ लोग चुनावों के समय अलग अलग प्रयोग करते हैं, वातावरण खराब करने का काम करते हैं, जो मुद्दे नहीं होते उनको मुद्दे बनाने का काम करते हैं। आखिरकार देश भर के स्कूलों में, कॉलेजेस में यूनिफॉर्म होती है, तो जहां पर जो रूल है वो रहना चाहिए।
Let's take this across to our legal correspondent Anisha Mathur, who's joining us with the latest updates on this. Anisha, explain to us who's filed this petition right now in the Supreme Court. They've also sought urgent hearing of the matter. Is that something that the Supreme Court will entertain, considering that yesterday this issue was already brought up before the top court and they said wait for the Karnataka High Court order?
Well, Akshita, let's look at it separately from yesterday. Now, remember yesterday evening when the Karnataka High Court had passed an interim order saying that for now, let the institutions reopen, but no one should insist on a particular religious dress. That order is now being challenged before the Supreme Court. There are at least 4 petitions that we have confirmation regarding that 4 petitions at least have been moved before the Supreme Court. Out of which about 2 are from people who are already before the Karnataka High Court. One is by one of the women Muslim women students who has said that this kind of interim order is in fact violating the fundamental rights. Another has also been filed by a social worker who had moved the Karnataka High Court and a PIL. They've also pointed out that asking students not to wear religious clothing effectively will only affect the Muslim women, because no other religious denomination has any specific religious attire that is required as part of the their daily dress. In addition, there is at least one petition filed by B.V. Srinivas, who's the Youth Congress leader. Another petition has been moved in the Supreme Court by the DJ Ali Federation of Masjid, Madad and Waqf institutions of Bangalore. So at least 4 petitions that we have confirmation on that they have moved the Supreme Court, saying that this interim order by the Karnataka High Court is going to be disproportionately affecting the Muslim women students. And more importantly, since one of the petitions has pointed out that since practical exams are scheduled to start from the 15th of February, not allowing these students to attend schools wearing a hijab could impede their education, could impede their ability to attend these exams. Whether or not the court agrees to hear these matters on an urgent basis is something we'll have to wait and see at 10:30 a.m. when the bench of the Chief Justice of India will assemble. At least 2 of these petitions have been permitted to be mentioned for urgent hearing. So we'll have to find out whether the court will agree to hear this matter today or by Monday. But at the moment, at least 4 petitions have been moved, all of which are saying that this interim order by the Karnataka High Court is affecting the fundamental rights of a particular community alone.
All right, we'll track what comes in from the Supreme Court at 10:30 this morning. Thanks, Anisha, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. The hijab showdown has clearly become a nationwide movement now. But about protests and the politics, there are questions also that are being raised over the legal aspects of wearing a hijab. The bigger question, perhaps, is wearing hijab essential to Islam? We decode that and much more in our next report. And there's a downright ugly political showdown over the hijab face-off as well between the Congress and the BJP over remarks that were made by the Gulbarga District Congress Corporator Ahmed Patil. The corporator has protested against the removal of hijabs and called it an attack on their community. Ahmed Patil is heard saying that women wear half blouses and they enter temples. Seers don't stop them from entering, then why target only our community? That's his deplorable statement. The BJP immediately latched onto this, slamming the Congress corporator. They registered a complaint also against him.
ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಗುಡಿ ಗುಂಡಾರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಧ ಚಡ್ಡಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರ. ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳೇ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ರಿ ನೀವು. ಅರ್ಧ ಗ್ಲೌಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರ. ಅಂತವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಮಾರಾಯರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜದ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ನೀವು?
एक भी अगर मंदिर में गए सो प्रूफ बता दिए तो मैं उनका बात पे सहमत हूँ. अगर नहीं बताएंगे तो हम लोग वही उनको और उनके फैमिली को वही चड्डी पे हम शाहबाद मंडल में बिठाएंगे बोल के मेरा ये एक आग्रह था. और उनके अगेंस्ट ऑलरेडी एफआईआर भी हुआ है. इमीडिएट अहमद और उनके जो भी प्रोटेस्ट में साथ थे सभी लोग हमारे हिंदू महिलाओं से जो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ उनका गलती हुआ बोल के वो माफ़ी पूछना. अगर नहीं पूछेंगे बोले तो हमारा ये जो प्रोटेस्ट रहेगा आगे हम लेकर जाएंगे.
Pakistan, meanwhile, tried to also poke its nose and meddle in India's affairs. And India told Pakistan very clearly to mind its own business after Islamabad summoned an Indian diplomat on the hijab controversy that's playing out in Karnataka. Pakistan has, of course, as we all know, an obnoxious track record on the treatment of minorities in its own soil. There have been so many incidents and reports of abduction, rape and forced conversion of women and desecration of places of worship. The question then arises, is the hijab controversy a part of an elaborate toolkit? You had Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai reacting, Pakistan ministers, Manchester United's Paul Pogba, all of them speaking out.
Hindu, Sikh, Christian women abducted, forcibly converted and compelled to marry older Muslim men. Minority traders shot dead in broad daylight. Despite a series of attacks on Hindu, Sikh and Christian minorities in Pakistan and bigots and terrorists celebrated even by the civil society, Pakistan raised the Karnataka hijab controversy, summoning a top Indian diplomat in Islamabad. Pakistan, in a desperate bid to interfere in India's internal affairs, has decided to observe the Hijab Solidarity Day on Friday.
जुमातुल मुबारक 11 जो फरवरी है परसों पूरे मुल्क के अंदर यौम यकजहती जो है दुख्तरान हिंद हिंदुस्तान की मजलूम बहनों के साथ, मुसलमानों के साथ, अक़लियतों के साथ यौम यकजहती का दिन मनाया जाए.
India's chargé d'affaires Suresh Kumar refuted all allegations levelled by the Pakistan Foreign Office over the Karnataka hijab controversy. India called Pakistan's charges baseless and told Pakistan to look within and check its own track record. Union Minorities Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi also hit out at Pakistan.
अब कुछ लोगों ने ये ठान रखा है कि यूनिफॉर्म पर मिस इन्फॉर्म करने का कम्युनल कंपटीशन और क्रिमिनल कंपटीशन करेंगे, तो उनमें मज़े की बात यह है कि यहाँ पर कुछ लोग जो है उस कंपटीशन का हिस्सेदार भागीदार हैं और उधर पाकिस्तान है.
India asked Pakistan to look within first, where on February 2nd in Sindh, a Hindu businessman was shot dead in the Anaj Mandi. On 30th January in Peshawar, a Christian priest was shot dead after a Sunday mass. On 2nd January in Balochistan, again a Hindu trader was murdered in Las Villa. AIMIM Member of Parliament and barrister Asaduddin Owaisi also hit out at the Nobel Prize winner Malala Yousafzai and also on Pakistan for their doublespeak and uncalled for interference in India's internal affairs.
पाकिस्तान से हम बताना चाह रहे हैं कि मलाला पर हमला पाकिस्तान में हुआ था, मलाला वहां से नहीं पड़ी तो उसको बरतानिया जाना पड़ा. ये हमारी बच्चियां यहाँ पर रहेंगी, इज्जत से रहेंगी और पढ़ेंगी और नेक और काबिल बनेंगी. हम पाकिस्तान के लोगों से कहेंगे इधर मत देखो, उधर ही देखो.
The Bharatiya Janata Party hit out at Pakistan for using the hijab controversy to divert attention from Imran Khan's failures.
Same Pakistan that has no track record to speak of on human rights, on women's rights, the same Pakistan which tortures Ahmadiyas, Baluchis, Shias, Hindus, Sikhs, it tortures women, doesn't give them any space, doesn't allow them to get educated, and is now getting an opportunity to lecture India on these issues.
However, shameless Pakistan is set to observe Hijab Solidarity Day on Friday. With Geeta Mohan in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.